Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's gonna fight Canelo.
Oh man!
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him, because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, like, I believe all the talking.
Damage, yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title.
It's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most, and maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him. Maybe he can counterpunch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable.
Some people say that Canelo Alvarez is one of the best boxers, but Joe Rogan says that Terence Crawford is much better. He talks about how amazing Crawford's performance against Errol Spence was, and how, with his perfect timing and ring IQ, Crawford can outthink and outmaneuver Canelo.
Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's gonna fight Canelo.
Oh man!
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him, because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, like, I believe all the talking.
Crawford, yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit.
They tried to say that, like, Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him, because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like, you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up.
Terence Crawford told the Joe Rogan Experience that he wants to become a 3-time undisputed winner. He said out loud that Canelo Alvarez's size doesn't bother him. Crawford played down the challenge by stressing how confident he was in his skills and approach, and he didn't hesitate to take the unique chance.
That would be crazy.
I want to be 3-time undisputed.
To jump up like that, 21 pounds?
Yes.
What do you walk around at?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, you don't tell me.
I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? But
how much time would you need to prepare for something like that? Would you gain weight? Would you do anything different?
I'll definitely have to gain weight.
Yeah.
You know, and I just believe in my abilities. You know, Canelo's not a big guy. You know, right. He's 5'8".
Right. Fought at 52 when he fought Pacquiao.
He's
or when he fought Floyd, rather.
He's big, like muscular wise, but far as like height,
right?
Nah. So yeah, that wouldn't be nothing that, you know, we had to see.
That would be insane for you to go from 140 all the way up to 168.
Terence Crawford's thinking heading into his upcoming battle with Canelo Alvarez exposes a fighter unaffected by popular opinion. Despite being smaller than most people, he sees this as just another challenge in his work that he has already overcome. Crawford has usually done well under pressure, and this fight gives him another chance to prove his doubters wrong. However, many people think it was a mistake for him to move up in weight to fight someone who is naturally bigger. Crawford is okay with hard times because his heart, skill, and mental toughness are his best equalizers. He's not only battling for glory. He's trying to show that brilliance transcends weight classes.
That's a fight because of the challenge. Yeah. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear him now. You're too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147. That weight too big. This and that. I can hear it now. And that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jamel and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah. But in my mind, in my heart, I don't think nobody too big. You know, especially in a fight. I'm a fighter. But, like, I was thinking, like, man, it could happen.
So Dan Rafael, a boxing journalist, gave a more in-depth review of Crawford's pick. He stated that this isn't about chasing a big paycheck, it's about legacy. Crawford, according to Rafael, is motivated by a desire to do what no one else has done, even if it means taking the difficult road. However, he knew the great danger involved. Confronting Canelo takes more than confidence, it necessitates a flawless performance. You have to be a tactical genius to fight every feint, counter, and round. This is the kind of risk that makes lives, for better or worse.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hyped about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Commentators have given a number of thoughts about Crawford's chances, with one view gaining traction, a similarity to Dimitri Bivol's tactics. Bivol's victory over Canelo showed how controlled movement, punch variation, and timing can counter Canelo's power. Observers suggest Crawford study Bivol's footwork and ring control, which prevented Canelo from establishing a rhythm. However, it is important to remember that Crawford is not a typical fighter. He adapts rather than mimics. If he incorporates critical lessons from Bivol's performance while staying true to his own approach, he may discover a blueprint capable of earning a historic victory.
Bivol is the fight you got to study if you're Crawford. Crawford ain't Floyd, but he can do a Bivol. The problem is Bivol's a big dude. This is rough because this fight is only a matchup fight. Let me tell you what I mean. I got a lot of fighters Canelo fought at 168 beating Crawford. I got Caleb Plant beating Crawford. I got Berlanga beating Crawford. I got Callum Smith beating Crawford. Just way too huge, of course. But that's why Crawford ain't campaigning at 168. He's trying to beat Canelo because Canelo is a special case. He's one of the best fighters of all time, and he's actually a little guy who ballooned up to 168.
David Benavidez voiced a controversial but thoughtful concern about the fight, recognizing Crawford's ability and the high-stakes appeal of a Canelo confrontation. Benavidez doubts the physical toll that such a weight gain could have. His hesitancy comes not from doubts about Crawford's talents, but from the fact that weight divisions exist for a reason. While fans view it as a fantasy match, purists like Benavidez are concerned that the bout will unjustly benefit Canelo. It's not a criticism of Crawford's courage. It's a warning about compromising long-term health for a short-term show.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity. And after this fight, what else are they going to say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at the WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But I see that weight class. I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Ryan Garcia's honest opinion gets to the heart of the issue. Weight counts, while acknowledging Crawford's abilities. Ryan believes that size will be the determining factor in his view. Canelo's natural build gives him an intrinsic advantage that no amount of technique can fully compensate for. The stylistic differences between these two fighters have made this one of the most awaited fights in recent years. Canelo uses a calculated, heavy-handed approach based on timing accuracy and unrelenting bodywork. Crawford, on the other hand, lives on adaptability, altering stances, changing angles, and taking advantage of timing lapses. Pundits think that Crawford must establish range early to avoid being forced to the ropes, where Canelo's combinations are most effective. The balance will be in Crawford's ability to stay elusive while hitting enough clean shots to influence the judges or compel Canelo to hesitate. It is a lesson in the making.
Hey Crawford, what do you think?
That's gonna be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. See, Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for everyone.
Last question, Ali.
He said TFT on.
Few competitors have been able to unite divisions and stay undefeated while demonstrating such a diverse skill set. Terence Crawford has achieved this while being relatively no in comparison to other well-known names. His ability to modify mid-fight, exploit flaws, and control the tempo is exceptional, but his clinical style does not always feature the dramatic knockouts or theatrical aggression that draw casual fans. Within the boxing community, he is regarded as one of the sport's most complete fighters. Outside of it, he is underappreciated, an enigma wrapped in excellence, still looking for the opponent who will eventually earn him global acceptance.
Bivol is the fight you got to study if you're Crawford. Crawford ain't Floyd, but he can do a Bivol. The problem is Bivol's a big dude. This is rough because this fight is only a matchup fight. Let me tell you what I mean. I got a lot of fighters Canelo fought at 168 beating Crawford. I got Caleb Plant beating Crawford. I got Berlanga beating Crawford. I got Callum Smith beating Crawford. Just way too huge, of course. But that's why Crawford ain't campaigning at 168. He's trying to beat Canelo because Canelo is a special case. He's one of the best fighters of all time. And he's actually a little guy who ballooned up to 168.
Brian Bomack McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, views the fight with strategic confidence, recognizing Canelo's outstanding background and championship experience. Bomack contends that Crawford's distinct qualities, especially his footwork, hand speed, and ring IQ, offer him an unrivaled advantage. He cites Crawford's training regimen and rigorous preparation as proof that he will not only show up but also take over for Bomack. This isn't just about size, it's about who can think faster, adjust faster, and create their own rhythm in his eyes. Crawford is more than prepared to outbox the Mexican great.
Hey, Calderon of Fight Hook News here with Trainer of the Year, Bo Mack. How you doing, champ? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just sitting back enjoying the fights.
Got some fights tomorrow night on Pro Box? Some fighters you training?
I got a new kid in the stable, Levante Early, 18-0, so, you know, see how he gonna work out.
Now the big super fight was announced, you know, the super fight everybody's been waiting for, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, Allegiant Stadium in September. How you feeling about that fight right now?
Man. I feel fucking great about it, man. Just talking to Bud, and you know, he motivated. He ready to go.
He's been waiting a long time for this fight, you know what I mean? You guys are taking off a long time. You know, just waiting for the Canelo fight. You haven't fought since August last year. Do you think that's gonna make him better, sharper?
You know what? It's gonna make Bud wiser. Make him wiser. Give his time, his body to heal up. You know, rest up a little bit. Look, dinks here, dinks there. You know, take his time, getting in shape, get his mind right.
Now,
go in there and do it and make it happen.
A lot of people's talking about the weight. They're talking about that, you know, Bud going up 2 weight classes. He didn't look in spectacular form at 154, but, you know, he's going up in weight to face a bigger guy. What do you say about that?
Let's go, man. Let's go. It ain't about weight all the time. It ain't about weight. You know what I'm saying? It's about skills. Just mark my words. These are Emmanuel Stewart words. It's about skills.
Sean Garcia, voicing concerns about physical mismatch, warned against underestimating the challenge. While Garcia admires Crawford's brains and ring savvy, he thinks Canelo's Natural physique and ability to withstand punishment make him a different sort of beast. His approach represents a view, at an elite-level boxing, technical superiority must compete with physical resistance. Garcia's opinion adds another voice to the continuing conversation about whether Crawford's skill can resist Canelo's brutal might and relentless pressure.
If he wins, he fights Crawford. How do you reckon that one goes?
Oh, him and Crawford?
Yeah.
I think Canelo just is too big for Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford is another, amazing fighter. You gotta give credit when it's due. He's an amazing fighter, he's very talented, and he'll for sure give Canelo a fight, and Canelo knows that. But I feel like Canelo will use, his experience, his weight, and how big he is, and I think he'll overpower Terence Crawford like in the later.
And lastly, Conor Benn has arrived here in New York. You obviously had that big fight with Eubank. What did you think of that?
Oh man, that was like probably one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. That was an amazing fight. They put up both of them should hold their head high. Because that was just an amazing night of boxing. Like that was just boxing in itself right there. So it was an amazing fight. They should both, I know he lost, but it's not really a loss when you put a show like that, I mean, yeah, maybe a loss on your record, but you gotta win. You should keep a win in your heart for that performance. That was a beautiful performance.
Now, as much as you're complimenting him right now, he has called out your brother. He's calling him Queen Ryan, and he wants to fight. So maybe if they fight, your opinion will change. But do you like that fight for Ryan against Conor Benn?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, he's fought every single style in the sport. He's not one to shy away from, someone who hits hard or, he's very explosive. Conor's very explosive, but I think he's a little...
According to Canelo's staff, the key to victory is not just his talents, but also his body's readiness for war. His manager stressed Canelo's physical state, particularly his durability and stamina, which distinguishes him from other elite fighters. It's not just about strength, it's about how successfully he takes harm and maintains his power during fights. After signing the contract, Crawford instantly sent a bold message to the boxing world, declaring himself a threat to Canelo's legacy. He described the fight as a watershed moment in his own career. Crawford is not only entering a ring, he is entering history with the goal of defying expectations.
Have all these excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, he got that in the back of his head. This guy, for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer. He moves, he can punch, he can do it all. I can't slip up and lose to this little guy. Then what will my fans think of?
Roy Jones Jr., no stranger to taking daring risks, gave a balanced evaluation of the approaching fight. He praised Canelo's strength, but warned that if Canelo fails to execute his game plan well, Crawford's ability to adjust in the middle of the fight could result in an upset.
Crawford in September, that's obviously a massive weight discrepancy. What do you think of that fight and then the weight discrepancy between it?
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. Yeah. Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. Yeah. Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight. Yeah.
Well, with Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring.
Yeah.
If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
Another last one from myself. Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev rematch. How do you see that one going?
Yeah, I'm prepared. I think it's going to be another great fight, another epic fight.
Jim Lampley, who has narrated some of boxing's most memorable events, thinks Canelo will win this bout. He says that Canelo's extensive experience, mental toughness, and history of dominating in higher weight divisions give him a big advantage. Lampley sees Crawford's ascent as amazing, but wonders if it will be enough against a fighter as experienced and complete as Canelo.
That Canelo learned from Floyd and has employed some of that in the retention of his career. Canelo still knows how to make fireworks when he absolutely has to make fireworks. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight.
That's all for today's show. Stay tuned.